This exercise is a calf raise. We're going to look at a version that uses the full range of movement in the joint and gives a nice kind of stretch and long muscle activity in the calf. The exercise, let me show you what it looks like. Dead simple. This is a calf raise, so we're just going up on tiptoes, get something stable so that you can sort of enjoy the exercise without wobbling around. Concentrate on the squeeze in the gastrocs, these muscles back here in the calves, and then gently down. Here, we're not using the full range of motion because this foot can come up here, so the toe lifts, the heel drops, get a much longer muscle, bit of a stretch, and that is the full range of motion. So we use a block, and that gives us our full range of motion. So all the way down to here. This is especially when you need something to be solid with. So the heel's dropped a little bit. Don't aggravate the muscles, don't aggravate the Achilles. So you will have a moderate stretch, and then we squeeze up into full range, hold, and then return under control, down. There are two main groups of people who are going to really benefit from this. Perhaps there's others, but let's talk about these two. One is a bodybuilder who would be using quite a lot of external load and looking to get really beautiful calves, definition. Then in that case, they're really more interested in that, getting the load on, looking at concentric phase. So concentric phase is where you squeeze and then up, so the muscle is shortening. Lots of load, and once that weight is going to be enough to fail you at like 8 to 10 reps, and that's muscle growth, and it will give you really nice looking calves. I would say that you also want to look at the eccentric phase so that you don't shorten the muscles too much. Really important not to shorten the Achilles, and to create kind of smaller mobility or range of motion in those calves. It's very, very important not to do that. Therefore, if you are using it for hypertrophy and trying to make the calves kind of sculpted, then please look at things like foam rolling and mobility on other days and other times and stretch it outward. The other group who would be really interested in this are runners. Runners because, those calves, those Achilles, they get a lot of work. And so these kind of things are often used in injury recovery, but can also be used in prehab and prevention of injury. And the bit that's interesting to those groups of people is what we call the eccentric phase. So remember I said your bodybuilder is going to squeeze and come up with load, whereas your runner would probably have no load at all, and they'd be much, much more interested in this eccentric phase on the way down under control, and then squeeze up, hold, and then really control that eccentric phase. Eccentric movements in general are typically used for stability, often used for rehab and recovery, and are excellent for the kind of function that we want to maintain in the body in order to prevent injury. So runners, probably no weight and reps to failure, but lots and lots of control. And here we are. See the heels go down and up. Concentrate on slow control. Keep that quite slow. There you go. Settle at the bottom and squeeze. Bodybuilders, external loading up. But there's your calf raise. Main point being that we're going to use a block and use the full range of motion. Don't aggravate the muscles, and loaded or unloaded for different purposes. Thanks, guys. Do subscribe, hit the notifications button, tell us anything you want, and we'll shoot it. Thank you.